Employee to Boss, thank you for joining us. I'm thinking that you're looking for information about becoming your own boss in this time, right? So right now, the coronavirus, people are stay at home. And so I think you're thinking, man, if I could do something other than having to go back to work. You know, you've been dependent on your boss, your company to provide for you. Then your company calls you up and says, hey, you need to go home. And then they say that we're going to send you, unemployment. And so now you're trying to manage, you're waiting for that check from the government, and you're trying to manage your bills. You're trying to manage your lifestyle. But then the whole time you've got this thing in the back of your mind sitting there saying, greatness is in me. I could do this. I want to start a business. I want to do something different with my life. You're weighing now because you have time to think, what can I do? What should I do with my time? What should I produce? And I'm saying this is the greatest time. Start. This is the best time to start your own business. Start. Don't go back to work. If you've been where you have business ideas and you've been trying to wait for the right time, now is the right time. Trump has set in place that he's made it easier. Taxes, he's made it easier. He's pumped $2 trillion into the market and probably going to do another $2 trillion. Guess what? It's easy to have business when that kind of money is in circulation. And so the greatest time for you is right now. You have Social Security or you have that government check coming in. They might even change it to where it's $2,000 a month for the next 18 months. Imagine that. If you were making $2,000 a month for the next 18 months, what could you do as a side hustle to start your business? So that way, because you're already being funded $2,000, why not start a business? You already got your house payment put off for 6 months. Why not start a business? You've already got some money coming in. Why not start your business? How much would it cost? How much time would it cost? You have nothing but time to plan and start, advertising and talking to people and setting up and scheduling. And they're even talking about right now putting out phase 1, 14 days later, put out phase 2, 14 days later, put out phase 3. This thing's going to open up pretty quickly, and you need to start making decisions based on where you're going to go. Are you going to drive back that routine to work, or are you going to start driving to your own success, your own business? What are you going to do in this next week or two where you're going to make the decision on what you're going to do forever? And I just want to challenge you, because the thing is, you're never going to start until you start. I know it sounds simple, but start. When we started this podcast and we started all these, different channels and doing these different things, we had a plan, and we did that plan. And the plan was based off what we thought, what we saw, what we thought the market wanted. And then quickly we realized, hold on, there's a whole nother market over here. Well, hold on. There's a whole nother audience over here. Well, hold on. This is better. Well, hold on. This fits our personality better. And just because your company does things one way doesn't mean that you can't leave that company, make changes, and create your company to be different. And that's what I want to challenge you today is your uniqueness of what you think is a good idea, how to produce that good idea and bring it to market is a good idea. You were created with the mind to think and how to solve problems. And so use that. Your mind is one of the greatest tools. We always look at, my computer, my phone, my this, my that. No, you are the answer. You were created to think. You were created to solve problems. You were created to be something. Even the Bible says, be fruitful and multiply. It's basically talking about the greatness that you are and bringing that to manifestation. And so I am excited creatively that you are what you need to be for this market that's about to open up. A friend of mine, he called me the other day, and he was saying he has this cleaning business, and he said, that everybody's calling and asking about disinfecting their building. He said it's never a market that he realized there was a potential there until there was a problem. And then the demand came to him and says, hey, we want you to solve this problem, and we're willing to pay you whatever. And he says, he didn't do disinfecting before, so he didn't know how to price it. He didn't know, do I do materials plus labor times 30%? Do I do an hourly wage of $50 an hour in anticipation of 4 hours? How does he even figure out the price for something that somebody's asking for that they've never asked before? And then it's, well, how often do you want to do it? And people are like, well, we need it done every day. Hold on, what? You want me to come in and start this whole new business and do it every day, and you're going to pay me 100% profit, 50% profit? And that's what I'm trying to say. Even in this, when it seems like everything is bad, there's tons of good popping up everywhere. There's tons of opportunities and possibilities happening right now in the market around you. So if we're focused on the bad because we're not working for our bosses, the thing is, what are bosses experiencing? Because they've set themselves in the right position to start the business, to be the problem solvers for their community. Does your community even know that you're a problem solver? Does your community know what you can do, what the possibilities of your smarts and your abilities, physical and mental, that you can be able to present to be able to help others? Unless they know that, nobody's going to call you and say, hey, solve this problem for me. But you got to start. I don't care if your plan is the worst plan ever on earth. Start, because you'll learn. You went to school for 12 years for what? To learn what? What did you learn for those 12 years that you're like, oh my gosh? I'll tell you what you learned. You learned how to continually learn. You learned how to continually do something and then increase every time, right? So you went to third grade and you learned, maybe in third grade, maybe first grade. I'm not sure exactly where you learn mathematics, but probably in first grade. So first grade, kindergarten, maybe you're learning mathematics. And by the time you get to high school, you're learning algebra, calculus, and you're starting to apply these mathematical equations that are 5 pages long. And my thing is that you've learned how to take something small in first grade and develop it over the years to something big. And that's my question today is what can you start today that could be big in 5 years? What can you start today that is small that you can develop over the years by learning more and more ways to apply things, and then it becomes bigger? You might not right now use algebra or calculus or any of these things. But my question is, what are the things that you know right now that you're not using to apply to your own business, to apply to your own fortune, your own future, your family's future? What are the possibilities of, do you live in the house that you wanted? Do you sitting there saying, man, I wish I could have had this. I wish I would have done this. My wife said the other day, she said, man, I wish I lived on the beach so that I could go walk around on the beach during this coronavirus, because basically they have their park right there. You go downstairs, you walk on the beach. It's acceptable. It's beautiful. It's something different. And my question is, what do you want? What do you wish you would have right now in this time? Where do you feel like your lack is? And I'm telling you, you can create that lack from the possibility of profits in a business. Right now, I'm talking to friends, and they're saying, well, how much money are you putting in the stock market? And I'm like, well, I'm putting $5,000 a month in the stock market. And they're like, what? $5,000 a month? And I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking about even trying to increase it. That comes because of a business. I'm not trying to gloat about the $5,000. I'm trying to gloat about what happens in a business with the profits. You are able to do more because you have more money. If I'm sitting there and I'm just working and I can't even, have my family, I'm making, $20,000 a year. And how do I have my family, my car, and how do I have all these things? It's hard. But with a business, even, for me, it was Rich Dad. So Rich Dad said, hey, if you want to be successful, have your own business. I'm telling you today, that system worked. Now I'm an investor. Now I'm creating other businesses. Now I don't have to go somewhere 5 days a week, 9 to 5. I am producing quality investments every day because I started my own business. Now, that was 20 years ago. Say that with me. 20 years ago. But in 20 years, Wouldn't you like to be putting $5,000 or more a month into the market? What if you could do that in 10 years? What if you could do that in 5 years? It all starts with you starting your business. It all starts with you taking that little plan, that little equation, 1 + 1, and you amplifying it every year and you staying consistent at it. You've already proved to yourself that you could stay consistent at something. You stayed consistent at school. You stayed consistent at your job. You can stay consistent with your relationships. You already stayed consistent. You understand that. Develop small. Start small. Develop and make it big. I believe in you. You should believe in yourself. There's nothing better to do for confirmation for you is to start a business. Just start. Don't worry about all the legal mumbo jumbo. Don't worry about all the LLCs, the insurances, all of that. Just get the work. Just start the work and let the work produce what you do in business. I always tell people, they're like, oh, I need to spend this, I need to spend that. I talked to a guy the other day. He spent $10,000 to get his business set up. And then for months, he's sitting there making like $100, $200 a week. And I'm like, well, that's not a business. The government's not worried about your $200 a week side hustle. You're going to spend $10,000 for an LLC and insurance and all these other things. For $200 a week, stay at your job. But if you could turn that $200 a week into $1,000, now you want to start applying the tax benefits of your side hustle because it's a form of the business. And that's my thing is just start. Get your side hustle going in anticipation that it's going to become a business. Until next time.